Russian-Ukraine war, where the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres is pressing for a ceasefire agreement after meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow on Tuesday. En route to Moscow, Mr. Guterres met Monday in Ankara with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who has attempted but failed to so far mediate an end to the fighting between Turkey's two maritime neighbors. Meanwhile, Kyiv is urging Mr. Guterres to push for Mariupol evacuations, with tens of thousands still stranded in the besieged port city, while Russia is warning the conflict in Ukraine could escalate into World War III. Moscow says Western weapons sent to its neighbor will be a legitimate target. There is more in this report.
The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called for a ceasefire in Ukraine after talks with Russia's President Vladimir Putin in Moscow. Mr. Guterres also made a stop at Ankara in Turkey to meet with President Recep Tayyip Erdogan on issues bordering on the war in Ukraine. Meanwhile, President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, in a 90 video address to the nation, says that it is impossible to predict when the war will end, but claims Ukraine's victory was inevitable.
Сьогодні почався вже третій місяць нашої війни за нашу незалежність, російсько-української війни. Третій місяць. 24 лютого більшість у світі навіть не вірила, що ми вистоїмо більше тижня.
Still in Ukraine, a video from Kamyansky on April 25 shows damage done to buildings sustained during shellings over the weekend. In Zaporizhia, fortifications are also dug by officials in preparation for a possible attack by Russian troops. Elsewhere, United Kingdom Armed Forces Minister James Hippey says it is not inevitable that Russian forces will manage to take parts of Ukraine's eastern Donbass region. Russia has been focusing its war efforts on the Donbass, made up of the regions of Luhansk and Donetsk, after failing to meet its goals in the north of Ukraine.
I think that what we will see in the Donbass is a very different type of conflict to the one that we saw around Kyiv. I think we'll see a conflict between two forces that are much more evenly balanced, where the Ukrainians have the advantage of defensive positions that have been dug in and prepared.
In the meantime, the European Commission is also proposing to amend the Eurojust regulation to give the agency the legal possibility to collect, preserve and share evidence on war crimes. Due to the ongoing conflict, it is difficult to store and preserve evidence securely in Ukraine. To ensure accountability for the crimes committed in Ukraine, it is crucial to ensure safe storage of evidence outside Ukraine, as well as to support the investigations and prosecutions by various European and international judicial authorities.
You may recall that there is a lot of work underway to support the investigations into the war crimes committed in Ukraine, and the strengthening Eurojust was one of these work strands.
In Germany, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is at the Ramstein Air Base on Tuesday for defense talks on the war in Ukraine. During the meeting, Mr. Austin discusses Ukraine's resolve during the war and how the war was only started by the, quote, ambitions of one man, on which he was referring to Russian President Vladimir Putin.
You know, Putin never imagined that the world would rally behind Ukraine so swiftly and surely. And after Ukraine's defeat at the Battle of Kyiv, after Russia's defeat at the Battle of Kyiv, big distinction there, Mr. Minister.